This is a
Good time, Charlie?
production.
On your marks, get set, play.
Hello there.
Good favor.
That I really like.
That is delicious.
Bakers, your time is up.
Welcome back to the tent. It's Krème Patisserie. It's a great British bake-off podcast hosted by us three. Me, I'm Tay 713. That's Nick Jew.
Wagwan, Delilah.
And that's, of course, Ant.
Hello. I like my cookies brown too.
Fair. It's episode 2 of Series 7 of the Great American Baking Show. It's Cookie Week.
Cookie time,
Man.
cookie time.
English people saying cookie will never sound right to me. Ever. In our tent remains Chris Kukuru, Mackenzie Rubish, Ronald R.J. Winter, Brad Gessner, Nicole Alfdenhauer, Roy Yoon Zhang, and Jennifer Reyes. Bacon.
But we spoil it with the show image, so I just want to say I will continue to watch, but my heart not in it no more.
Facts. Although I decided today I'm just going to ride for Roy Yoon. That's who I'm riding for going forward. Although I actually think the best baker in that tent currently is Mackenzie.
Yeah, I'm Team Mackenzie for sure.
Yeah.
That 30-second cookie bit at the beginning, I was amused.
It was great. I thought it was hilarious.
I said I just had to get that. It's people in the Bake Off Reddit that had just decided they don't fuck with Zach Cherry and Casey, and I just had to laugh. I'm like, y'all, okay.
That's so
cool,
interesting because they're both like really funny people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. What's not to like?
Exactly.
It seems like they use them way less now. This
Yeah,
season.
they don't even do a lot. Yeah.
So that's just people who want to be mad, and so we allow them their anger.
Okay, T, I'm going to jump in right here just because I
Got
took the notes. First up is a signature challenge. It's 12 individual chocolate-covered cookie bars. Must contain one additional element like caramel. Has to be fully coated in chocolate and decorated. They have 2.5 hours to bake.
Bruh. When they said it, I was like, yeah, I could get down with that. And then let's ride through and see what's what here.
Basically, you could make like a Twix.
Yes, exactly. Maybe
A
they should
big
have.
Twix. And nobody did. So, Jen, I noticed in my second watch that they were very obvious with the loser edits and the winner edit.
So much so, I was just like, oh, I have never ever noticed that hard.
I super picked up the formula. What an interesting person. She's a dentist.
Yeah.
And she plays the violin.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It look, I can't play the violin.
No.
I'm just saying, in that the clip they gave us, they did not sound like the greatest of violinists. I was just like,
Rehearsal.
But rehearsal is the point. That's where you get better. So when you go perform, you are good to go. But they was out tight. Jen is going for boomerang biscuit balls.
Using Vegemite.
The ideal sound in that salted caramel is a thing. I don't know if we all fuck with it, but I mean, people, society, we all know what
Yeah.
salted caramel is at this point. We seem to get down with
But
it.
Vegemite is not salted caramel.
I know, but I'm saying the notion, a bit of savory in your sweet, just a bit.
Yeah, but it's also cheesy and funky too, right?
No. Vegemite is supposed to be bitter and salty, and so it's also supposed to be used. It's also supposed to be used sparingly.
Yeah,
like everybody who watches an American spread Vegemite and or Marmite, they like y'all doing it too much. It's supposed to be bread, a substantial amount of butter, and just the slightest little of Vegemite. And that's how you get this, like, this little, and unsalted butter in this case. They say use unsalted butter because the salt of the Vegemite kind of puts it down on paper. So
every time I've seen a non-Australian person taste Vegemite, they look like they're gonna die.
But every time I see it, they got a spoonful and they go into the face with it. It's like, don't do that.
Yeah.
And don't spread it that your bread becomes blackened with Vegemite. No.
Yes. Okay.
It's supposed to be such a little light touch to it that I'm going to have to get some Vegemite. I'm going to get a little short tin of it, and I'm going to report back.
You're supposed to use it like Murray's, just a little bit in your palm, and then you put it in your hair, and that's it.
And it lasts forever. Yes. I still got a can of Murray's from like 15 years ago. No, I'm kidding.
It's a macadamia shortbread, a layer of Vegemite caramel. You got to, everybody, as you heard, got to enrobe them in chocolate. Top of a little honeycomb candy, which is actually super Australian to me because I have an Australian candy bar called Violet Crumble, which is a honeycomb candy coated in chocolate, and I've gotten them before, and they're very tasty. So that seems very Australian. But she said her sister in Australia, right? So that's what's going on. You got some honeycomb candy right there?
Yeah, this is currently at Trader Joe's.
Not that way. Go back. Lean it back. Like, no, not you. Just lean the bag back. No, lean. Like,
Like go like this.
There we go. Keep going. Keep going. And then twist it this way. Yeah, it's kind of working. Your camera don't really want to be down, but I got you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
That's even
I think
worse.
that maybe she was trying to make that chocolate bar you're talking about, but she just couldn't say it for copyright reasons or whatever because it sounds like.
See, what I noticed is they kept back and forth on Vegemite. They would say Vegemite, then they'd be like, "Oh, yeast spread."
Yeah.
I'm like, bruh. And then
I wonder if they thought the American audience wouldn't know what Vegemite was,
or that I think. Well, no, because it's not on BBC over there. It's on Channel 4 over there. It used to be you couldn't advertise nobody's shit, basically. But I mean, on the art, it just straight up said Vegemite.
But this ain't on this. Does this come on over there?
No, I'm just saying in general. I thought maybe they're just concerned because they're used to having to do it without a little.
Yeah.
So they was kind of back and forth on whether or not they would say it or not.
Yeah.
But like I said, when they do the little painting, it said Vegemite. So I'm like, fair. Chris is going for chocolate hazelnut bars, chocolate wafer coated in caramel with a whipped hazelnut ganache. RJ, caramel apple bars, a Scottish shortbread with a layer of caramel topped with an apple whiskey ganache.
The way that Prue took a taste, she said, "Let me get a little taste of that apple whiskey. Let me get a little taste of that." And she tasted off a spoon. And Paul said, "It's like medicine to her."
What she say? Take every 3 hours or something? He said something like that. I was like, "Y'all gonna leave Prue alone?" I ain't never had no apple whiskey. Tell me more.
Get a little taste.
Mackenzie is going with, and then it's like I feel like we was, well, come on, we always are ahead, but we was a whole week ahead on this, and she's like, "Oh, my Samoan heritage." I'm like, "I told you that last week." I found out beforehand, and so she was going with coconut and cherry jam bars. It's an almond shortbread covered in a cherry jam and with a toasted coconut situation on top of it. What would you even call that? What don't you like? You're not a coconut fan, or is
no? I'm not.
Okay. Nick, you're a real picky eater, my nigga.
No, there's only two. I will eat most anything. I have two textures that are not in a lot of things. Wet bread and anything gelatinous. I can avoid that very
What
easily.
level of gel before you're like, I can accept that?
None. If it shakes when you put it down on the table, I don't want it. So
you don't eat like jam, like preserves?
That's not gelatinous though. It don't shake.
I mean,
a Jello, specifically Jello.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
I did eat Jello as a child, but that was, you know what I'm saying? That was a while
And the
back.
coconut thing, I can eat like toasted coconut
Yeah.
straight by itself like that, but like raw virgin coconut, absolutely the fuck not. Coconut water, absolutely the fuck
It's
not.
just sour. It's gross.
And I don't want no shaved little like grainy coconut, like German chocolate cake. Fuck no.
Wow. Disrespect.
I'm not doing it.
Man, I just want coconut cake too. Fuck.
Why?
You gonna get the Tom Cruise this year?
Tom Cruise cake. Man, I actually would like on to taste said Tom Cruise cake, but I am not willing to put, what is that? Like 165?
Is that the
weird
cake they was
price.
talking about on Hacks?
Yes,
Oh
Okay.
shit.
it is.
I see. I know about it from Mythical Kitchen because they had Tom Hanks on there, and he described how every year Tom Cruise sends him and a lot of other people in Hollywood this cake.
Yeah, they had it on Hacks.
Yeah, and so I think we all we are aware of it, and so I'm like, I would love a Tom Cruise cake. Set it off, Tom.
Yeah, that's another thing. I know this is a different show, but we gotta start gatekeeping again, man. Because I bet you that bitch is probably like $59.99 like 3 years ago.
But
Now it's
now,
$125.
Hey, I think it's just hot that Tom Cruise is like, if I fuck with you, trust me, you got a cake coming to you at the holidays.
it's like Beyonce with them flowers. How she be getting everybody address?
I mean, because when you got dough like that,
Yellow Pages?
you can get addresses.
I need to send her mine.
Oh my gosh. Who's Rayoon?
Well, you
This
with the
shit.
winner's edit.
It was so obvious, right? And this is how I knew it. This is when I first picked it up. I was like, oh, they just told me her whole backstory. Everything about Rayoon. Which went to
A
college, what she do for a
software
living.
engineer for one of them self-driving car companies in San Francisco.
Went to Caltech.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Rayoon got it all this week. Raspberry milk candy bars, pistachio shortbread, a layer of milk candy topped with raspberry jelly with a dark chocolate shell.
She got a Hollywood hug because she said
wrote
she
it down.
was terrified of
I
Paul.
said the Hollywood hug returns to calm down Rayoon. But
It's
y'all know
all
the candy she
racism.
making. Y'all know the candy she got this based on. I don't know if y'all probably seen it before, man.
What
It's
is
the
it?
white bunny. Y'all ever seen the white bunny candy? You been to Chinatown, seen it? Ooh, I'm gonna find y'all a picture of white bunny.
What is
Okay.
it?
It's damn. We really did skip over our whole news segment, y'all. Sorry, I'll get to it. It's white bunny candy, and I want to find you a picture of it. Yeah, it's cream candy, and it's like it's one of them things I have seen for years when you go to like the Asian market.
Oh,
White
I've
rabbit.
seen that.
White
before.
rabbit.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
One pill makes you larger.
But yeah. So that's basically what she was going for as the
Oh, I
topping
never
of
heard of
her
this.
Twix, which I think if you know what white rabbit candy is, if you get down, then you know what Rayoon was trying to make happen this week. I like Nice Paul. It's different than Paul was some years back. I don't think you would have had that happen. But I've seen him now. Who did he give a hug on Bake Off this past year? That also had the nerves.
Remember.
And he came around and gave him a hug, and that was like crazy.
You like Paul with the melodies?
I don't like Paul when he acts up.
Keep making me dance, wave my hand. It won't.
Let me see if Prue really crashed something. Nicole is going for a raspberry white chocolate bars. It's pistachio shortbread, raspberry ganache sandwich betwixt the cookie. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a little pistachio bar cookie, raspberry ganache cookie. I'm like, yeah, okay. Pink white chocolate drizzle situation going on hers.
Better.
Besides Royons, these actually to me look pretty tasty.
Yeah.
Most appetizing.
Yeah.
I know about white chocolate.
I feel like they kind of was hating on her a little bit because
Really?
I like the way they looked. Like they weren't. I mean, Yeah, I thought they looked. I thought they looked fine. Of course, Paul's right there up in the club, but it looked okay to me.
And our homie Brad was going for it, and I, of course, was like, man, I really want Brad to make this for me. Buckeye bars, chocolate shortbread with a peanut butter mousse coated with a chocolate and an O piped in the Ohio State logo styling. Styling is what's going on there. The Ohio
Loser
State.
edit with the background information.
Loser edit, and they put him, they lasted him on this too. And I feel like, so when I write my notes here, I basically can just delete out what's there and then kind of drag and drop names. But some people's names don't move. And oftentimes, like I say, I was like, that name stayed exactly here. It was here the same place last week. That's interesting to me. So I'm like, what are you telling me about these bakers and so forth? You
Did
anything else?
her 1 minute call as a Karen, and it was scarily accurate. It was triggering.
Fair. Oh my gosh. You got anything else in your notes about this?
Not
before we
about
get to
that
the judging?
stuff. No.
Fair enough. All right. Before we get to judging, in fact, we're going to take a moment because every week, again, we're not at full shape, and I didn't write it down in my notes. I have the link in the notes, but I didn't write down that we have a segment that should be right here in the notes. And that is, of course, our news segment. And that shit is called Bakers Make the World Right. Let me make sure I got this turned up this week. I felt it was a little too low last week. We're going to tap that up. Let me give you 70. And if it's too loud for you, don't worry. I'll fix it. But our news segment, we do it each week. It's called. You're not going to push play for me? Go. Why? Just going to be a bitch and not play. Bakers make the world go round. Boom, 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 boom. I'm telling y'all, every week we try to grab a little bit of news in the realm of baking or just food in general. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what's popping. And this one, when I went on the hut, I was like, this is dangerous because I'm gonna put news and put baking, and I'm probably gonna find out who won the show. But I didn't, because we had great news in the world of Bake Off. Great British Bake Off champion Maddie Edgel marries Laura Lucien.
Yay.
The best day of our lives. The wedding guests included several of Edgel's fellow contestants from the baking competition's 14th season. Aaron Clark on the byline. This is from People. Great British Bake Off star Maddie Edgel is celebrating a sweet occasion. The 28-year-old home baker and teacher, who was crowned champion of the amateur baking competition series 14th season last year, married Laura Lucien on Friday, May 31st. He announced the news on Instagram, sharing a series of photos from the couple's gorgeous countryside nuptials at South Farm in Hertfordshire. Good Lord. H-E-R-T. See? So Hertfordshire, England. Signed, sealed, and delivered. She can't turn back now, Edgel wrote in the caption of the post. We had the best time celebrating our special day with the people we love the most. Thank you so much to everyone who came. You made our day what it was. He adorably added, P.S. How stunning does my wife look? Before assuring his followers that he'd soon be sharing details about a key aspect of the wedding, the cake, which Lucien had tasked him with making.
Oh.
In a follow-up post, which he jointly shared on Instagram with his wife, Edgel featured a video highlights from his wedding, clips showing aerial views of the stunning venue, the bride getting ready with her bridesmaids, Edgel nervously awaiting Lucien's arrival in her gown at the ceremony, and the couple exchanging vows inside a gazebo. The best day of our lives from start to finish. Here's a little sneak peek into our wedding day with massive thanks to a hugely talented videographer, Wedding Films by Caleb. Can't wait to watch the full video back and relive the day, the couple wrote in the caption. They also included a little advice for future grooms and brides to be hoping for a favorable weather on a special day. Tip from us is to plant a sausage in your garden the night before the wedding. This kept the rain away for enough time for us to get married outside. It works. Never miss a story. Oh no, that's actually just them advertising me. Several of Edgel's fellow contestants, season 14 contestants, attended the wedding, including why can I not remember how to say this person's name?
Spell it.
Our Indian lady from this past season.
Oh.
Saka. It's Saka, but they have her whole name out there, which is Sakunthala, which I've never known. We just called her Saka the whole time. Saka, who shared pictures of the castmates celebrating and posting together with Edgel. I feel like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. what is it, 12 bakers in all? Well, so wait a minute. So
Yeah.
we are missing, let's see, we're missing like 3 bakers. I wonder who didn't come through to the wedding. That's going to bother me. The gorgeous wedding of a gorgeous couple. Congratulations, Laura and Maddie. Thank you for sharing your beautiful day with us. Wishing you both a life full of happiness and love. Chandra Sakara wrote, "What fun we had," she added, tagging Dana, Rowan, Tasha, Nikki, Keith, and Abby.
Saku? Ain't that what they called her?
Yeah, it's Saka. I know it. Like I said, they just happened to spell the whole her entire government out on this one instead of we just called her Saka. There's a little more to it, but not anything that you get the gist. A man's got married. He had talked about getting married at the end of that past season, and they have done it. They look so happy and so just, I don't know. I love the little bake-off families that are born from this show, and how they just really all seem to keep riding for each other well and true after the fact. And so I think that's very adorable. That's lovely. It's in your that's old girl. So it's like she's there. So wait a minute, she's just not in this. Okay, no, that remember the lady who liked the cows with the thick ass accent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My little Scott. She made that Scottish Highland cow.
Yes, that Highland cow. It was so cute.
Too adorable, man. All right. Now that we've made sure we've done that, it normally goes before we start talking about everything else in the show. People, sorry about that. Let's get to the judging. And right now, in theory, you'll hear either music or a commercial and then some music, or some music and then a commercial situation. All I can do is say, yes, put commercials here on when I upload the show, and they either will or they won't. So that's how it goes, people. Judging, RJ's up first. Not totally the same. The tempering is not great. A good crack on the chocolate. Good flavors. Strong whiskey flavor, but no apple popping off in that bitch. So,
Prue really enjoyed the whiskey flavor.
Yeah.
and Paul said he would have preferred half the caramel and half the cookie. And RJ was like, "See, mommy, and that's an American size portion."
And Zach's like, "Yeah, I would have said twice the caramel, twice the cookie."
Right.
I'm like, yes, correct. Mackenzie, I love when Prue says this, because she says it enough that I know it's kind of like one of her phrases. Neat as a pin. And looks very appetizing. Nice tempering. Not a huge amount of cherry as the coconut overwhelms, but coconut does go brazy. The biscuit is beautiful. Prue would have liked the coconut to have been set a bit more, but in general, she says she loves it. Brad's up next. Look a bit all over the place. Uniform, but uniformly all over the place. I'm like, God dang, what is that, man? Just not neat enough is basically what they mean. Flavor good. Biscuit was dry because cocoa powder has that kind of effect on the baking. You got to mix it a little harder so the moisture spreads a little more uniformly, I guess, and would make for a cleaner bake in this regard. Brad had a lot of time left, and I don't know what he could have used that time for, because all you can do is do what you do: dunk the damn things, temper your chocolate, dunk them, and make them whatever. But I guess maybe he could have molded them or something like that. I don't know, man. Them shits look scrumptious.
Yeah, they look good. I mean, they had a good snap to them when they cut them or bit into them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel
it was something about them biting with their front teeth that was stressing me out.
Got these insiders and canines for a reason. Yeah, over here they do be.
I think Brad's thing was
free
that
healthcare.
But not dental. I think Brad's thing was that he didn't They just weren't all the same size. And like, how do you?
It required, at least on this one, once you saw what everybody else is doing, just a bit more finesse.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, they look delicious. I would wreck them shits, but I know what they wanted, because especially as you go on here and you end up, you get
Royunes.
well, when you get to Royune, we'll just say that.
Mm-hmm.
Jen's up next. Looks like millionaire shortbread. Slightly odd. I'm like, why did you say that, bruv? Prue thinks it's lovely. Paul likes the biscuit, but just truly does not get out of Vegemite. He goes, it's just not for me. And she's like, well, thank you for that.
Not overly enamored about it.
Yeah. Pro was like, I don't know, man. I like this little savory kind of notes it's hitting, like a salted caramel kind of vibe. And I'm like, I get you, Pro. But you a sweetheart. Sometimes you be just, it's okay to be like, I don't fuck with it either, man. All right. Now the first little note here is my own. To me, that ganache looks broken. But it could just be a little flecks of hazelnut, you know what I'm saying? And I'm fucking up with the way I looked at it.
On
I'm
Chris's?
Like, yeah. Like, if you get a look at that ganache, I'm like, nobody said anything. So I'm like I said, I'm definitely going to assume I'm the wrong one here. But Paul thinks they look nice, but could be a bit neater. A good texture, slight chew from the wafer. Chocolate is good, and the hazelnut is hidden. Absolutely delicious, but lacks the finesse. Prue agrees. The flavors are fantastic, really lovely. Execution, just a bit clumsy. And of course, my man Zach is like, I'm a bit clumsy, you know what I'm saying, too. So I was like, Zach Cherry, I like you, man. Nicole's up next. A little bit messy. Now, Aunt will disagree. I can lightweight disagree, too, because I know what she did. She did the little, the little line, and you drag the toothpick through it and give you the little waves.
Yeah.
And I guess they think that the pink settled into the white looks, which it didn't pop off. And that I can see, because it kind of just like a little Debbie white chocolate Nutty Buddy. So,
yeah.
They seasonal red, white, and blue ones.
I thought their issue was with her chocolate tempering. That's what they were calling messy, because it was too thin. And because white chocolate is notoriously hard to work with, it was just showing through all the cookie and the dimples and all that.
Oh, you think it was so thin? That's what, okay.
Yeah.
Prue loves the size. Says it's delicious. The biscuit is well done. The white chocolate works beautifully because it's so thin, but the thinness of the chocolate is why it looks so bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. You can't call it, man. Yeah, it's like, what do? You make it thin and perfect, and taste really good. You thicken it up, and then you're bitching about it too thick.
Yeah, the ratios is everything when it comes to those type of things.
Yeah.
But they both seem to like the way that it tastes. They tasted.
Yeah. Said the raspberry kind of was popping, so I was like, okay, I get down with that. Royune looks exquisite. The tempering spot on. Perfect to the eye. Paul really likes it. Biscuit, whole thing. Hollywood handshake, y'all. 2 weeks in a row. A delicious bar. Texturally perfect. Tempered thin chocolate doing the do. Bruh.
Did Prue call that lady Rowan?
What's up?
Did Prue call that lady Rowan?
If she did, I didn't pick up on it, but quite possible. You know it is. But yo, that was a really beautiful. Like, that's another thing. I hope y'all are not just listening to. I mean, yeah. Look, I'll be grateful if you just listen to this, but I really think you should watch the show because Royune's cookie was.
It was gorgeous. It looked like something you would buy at like a patisserie.
Easily, it was so beautifully crafted, and I'm like, how the rest of y'all didn't do that. But who knows? Cookie might be where she just set it off at. And then she's like, I got this handshake. I think I should try for Star Baker this week.
I should try to win.
As if that's just something she can do. But right. I like that energy, you know? I like that she's like, I'm about to do that. And hey, let's ride out.
For the technical challenge, I had some maturity issues with some of the words used.
Oh, piping?
I'm just going to keep jumping in with the immature phrases that I wrote down.
Oh, no, they said they did that on purpose. They had to. They said piping way too
many times.
Right here, written down right in front of me. It says this. The word piped and piping was used Far too much.
Mhm.
So I'm glad to know we all a bunch of 12-year-olds.
When Prue said the key to the challenge is perfect piping, I said, yes, it is. Yes, ma'am. The hell it is.
Our technical challenge: 8 identical sandwiched Italian butter cookies. 1.75 hour 45. I'm sorry, I'll be writing that shit like decimals. Hour 45 to complete. So this cookie is basically you gotta whip up cream your sugar. Also, I was like, cream your sugars heavy on my one too. I was just like,
Butter and sugar need to be properly creamed.
properly creamed so they can be spread. Oddly enough, it piped, and so they can be piped. Because again, like I said, they kept coming with the piping. But basically, you gotta really mix your butters and your sugar together, along with your flour and so forth and so on. Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna get a piping bag, and you're going to actually decoratively pipe out these cookies as opposed to balling them up and making a cookie. You know what I'm saying? So this actually requires a little technique.
Jam
And
sugar.
also,
Jam sugar.
I enjoy watching them because this one I felt like they felt a bit more secure in. There's a little bit of I don't know, but I'm like, it's like really, because they couldn't leave you two hanging on this recipe because it's like it's so few ingredients. It's basically butter, sugar, flour. You know what I'm saying? Probably a little vanilla. But they also had to make jam. It requires them to make a raspberry jam. So jam sugar certainly was involved in this bake. They also required them to do some more white chocolate, playing around with melting some white chocolate and so forth. And so I kind of like what they set them up to do. But again, they all seem so much more secure in this technical challenge than they were on the Battenberg last week. So I guess they just were there for it. So let's get over to our judging. Jen's up top.
She ain't even have all 8 motherfucking cookies.
She only has 7.
Girl. At what point wouldn't you just put the piping back in the bag and start over?
A bit of definition. only 7 of the requested 8. Nice snap to the biscuit. Nice color. Delicious jam. Nice short cookie dough. Could be neater. And also, have an additional cookie. Crisp biscuit, not bad. Bit of definition, but pale. Needs a bit longer in the oven. I feel like this week I hear that complaint more than last week. I feel like, in fact, that they overcorrected for last week's overbaked by baking with less time, and that ends up being things are underbaked this week throughout both Tech and Showstopper.
Yeah, agreed.
Rayun, better color than the last, which is crazy to say, right? Better color over on this one. Quite neat. Pretty uniform. Piping not. Damn it, Nick! You done fucking did this to me. Piping not bad, but could be better. Yeah. Hey. Jam is good. Bake is good. Nicole, neat. A bit pale. Jam certainly need a little longer. I think Prue said it needed to be boiled about 30 seconds longer, which is wild to know how specific but that's a woman who knows her shit. So 30 more seconds on a jam could have had it set up quite nice. Brad, got the definition. Slightly over. So in this case, Brad overbaked his this week. The jam tastes burnt. And I'm like, fuck, how did you manage? I'm probably leaning toward trying to have Brad back to do just basically a debrief of his time in the tent and what he thought went astray with his bakes in this second week here.
Because I don't think Brad should have went home this week. But that's just me.
Agree. Fully agree too, actually, because I think you probably could. Well, we'll get there. Got the definition. I told Jen, and needed more raspberry on top of Prue was what Prue likes. Mackenzie, color, really nice. Right size, uniform, a nice break to the biscuit. The bake is good. The definition is good. The chocolate is doing the do. The jam is jamming. It's a very good cookie, y'all. It was pretty much textbook. It looked pretty much like the examples they show when they go back to discuss it. I was very impressed with Mackenzie's bake on this one. RJ's up last. Underbake, soft, needs more chocolate and raspberries.
Damn.
Yeah, for real, for real. Ranking is as such. In 7th is Brad. They just say overbaked. 6 is Jen. 5 is Chris. 4 is RJ. 3 is Nicole. Ray Yoon, quite nice, just not as good as first. And they all just laugh because that is funny as fuck. Like, yo, you did it, but you didn't do it like this lady did.
Somebody did it better.
Mackenzie, they tell her it's a lovely cookie.
And I don't know if Prue was just being nice, but she did say that all the cookies were really good, which is, 180 from last week, where nearly everybody shot the bed on the technical.
And I think that's why she had to show love. She's like, yeah, y'all all made some good cookies this week. Unlike last week, y'all all fucked up on these Battenbergs. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just one of those things where it's like last week it was more the appearance of everything being kind of off, the appearance and maybe the taste too. And this is kind of maybe a harder judge. And it's like all these look and taste pretty good, but like it's just these little tiny things.
Yeah. But that's what it is in the tech. The tech is literally just that. It's like they're going to try to test you, and you will pass or fail. That's what it is, man. Our Showstopper, a 3D cookie box filled with 24 identical cookies, 4 hours to complete. Nick Jew, were you showstopped?
Yes and no.
Same. I'll get you to where I was and where I was not.
The cookie box had to be a different dough from the cookies inside the box.
Yeah, couldn't just be making the same old thing. What I just learned on this episode, unsulfured molasses. Clicked something in my brain that made me realize what I don't like about molasses is I can taste the sulfur. And guess what? You have an option to not taste that shit or not have it in there. And now I want to try some unsulfured molasses and see what they're doing.
That's how I feel about Chardonnay. I will only drink an unoaked Chardonnay because I do not want to taste the barrel.
Fair. I wish I had just
two
any
wrinkles
kind of
in my brain.
wine. I simply don't.
Just go tasting. That's how I learned. I just like in Mexico on a cruise went wine tasting. And then I started going more often to wine tasting. And people who make wine are like the most friendly, wonderful people. And they love talking about wine. And I happen to have like an extremely sensitive nose. So I would be like, oh, I smell some wood. And the dude was like, that's the barrel. That he was like, you have an incredible nose if you can smell the barrel that the wine was aged in.
That is so dope. Have you ever done a whiskey tour of any sort?
What did I do? I went to this place to a distillery and tasted some things, and then we did have like a bourbon tasting at my office, like last month.
We Dan and I went. Dan is a co-host of Stage Ranch and Milk. If y'all didn't know that, you might not. We went to Louisville, Kentucky. Probably it was certainly right before the pandemic. So it was 2020. It was like literally, that January we went down there, I think. And we went to Angel's Envy because that's what he was doing. He had won the right to buy a bottle of their particular whiskey. But while we were in Kentucky, we ended up sliding over to. Is that when we went there? No, I'm lying. It was. It was October of 2020. My Aunt Dot had passed away, and Dan was dope enough to drive me down to Tennessee for the funeral. But we stopped in Kentucky because we was like, look, we ain't gonna try to drive straight. We getting too old for this shit. Let's just stop in Kentucky overnight. So we ended up going to go to a whiskey tasting at Old Forester is where we stopped by, and they went and they walked us through and took us through the process and showed us the barrels and so forth and so on. And I was like, and explained us basically how to sip whiskey properly. It's very cool. That might be something you enjoy if you ever get over to Kentucky. So in this case, Louisville. So you got to be, in that particular. I mean, I'm sure there's other places. I think they do. feel like they make some other whiskey in other parts of that state, but that is where I was experiencing some oak situation and having things explained to me like, look, it's doing this because of this barrel. I'm like, very cool. That has nothing to do with this show, but even though we're sharing you some data points. Let's discuss what our bakers are making for this here Showstopper. Brad, 27th anniversary box for his wife, Mary Lou. I love that we got to see his dog, Tater Bell, because that is a Tater Bell, and it just made me chuckle. It's like, look at that cutie. Coconut spice gingerbread box filled with 24 cherry lemon macaron roses. And I was like, okay, I see you. I truly did. RJ, once again broke the cardinal rule. What I told you about icing shit down. Geometric cookie cube, which I was like, a cube, a clean ass cube. That do sound fly. Made from gingerbread, decorated royal icing with 24 brown butter chocolate chip cookies inside. His joke was like, "It's a lot of macarons being made for the American baking show."
Right? Right? Make some goddamn chocolate chip cookies in this hole. It's America.
I thought this was America. That was funny. His ideal sound as it was simply was not executed right. But we'll get there.
Have you guys ever made brown butter cookies before?
I've never tried to whip up brown butter. I know the concept, but I'm like, I don't have the patience. It's like, let me go make brown butter, let that body, then go mix it with my other shit over here. It's like, nah, I'm not doing it. They let me, if I could buy brown butter, like already brown butter.
I think you can. Can't you?
I mean, I'm sure if you can do ghee that way, but other than their regular chocolate chip cookies, Whole Foods makes brown butter chocolate chip cookies, and they're like $3 more, and you can taste it.
I'd have to go slide out.
I don't like Whole Foods desserts. Don't know what it is with them shits, but I mean, I trust you, and if you're telling me they cookie is worth the extra $3, I certainly will.
Wait, they got a vegan donut in that hole. That's goody than a mug.
All righty.
Yeah, I've never really. I mean, actually, like other than a already beverage, like that's I don't really mess with nothing but that and maybe a slice of pizza.
Fair, but I'm over here on the dub, man. It's like our what they got at ours. I don't know if they might have a pizza, but it's something else. I don't know. You know where the one near me is at, so
yeah,
they got whatever's calculating over that way. Jen. Hidden Notes violin-shaped gingerbread box. It's going to be filled with macarons. And those macarons are going to be filled with cherry and plum jam and chocolate crème au beurre or French buttercream. And let's break that down for you. French buttercream involves heating a sugar syrup until it reaches the soft ball stage, which is 118 to 120 degrees C, 244, 248 Fahrenheit. Concurrently, I love that they wrote that. Egg yolks are beaten until they reach a light, fluffy consistency. Then the hot syrup is then gradually drizzled into the yolks while continuing to whisk. This cooks the egg yolks and forms a smooth, rich base known as a pâté à bon. The final step is to incorporate softened, unsalted butter piece by piece, whisking until the mixture achieves a creamy, emulsified texture. This results in a rich, silky, and subtly sweet, buttercream. Crème au beurre. Royun, cottagecore autumn picnic. I adored Royun explaining to these olds what cottagecore
is.
Yes. And how much Paul was just like, I fuck with that a lot. It spoke to Paul in some way, and his like, yeah, you sir. You're cottagecore.
The whole show is very cottagecore coded.
The show is basically the source of cottagecore as an idea. It's wild that Paul didn't recognize that, but that is what's up. She's making a gingerbread shaped. It's made of gingerbread, but it's going to be shaped like a picnic basket. It's going to be filled with macarons, which themselves are shaped like apples, filled with an apple buttercream. Chris is going for an Indian gift box. Chocolate cinnamon gingerbread filled with black chai shortbread cookies. He made it look like wood with the silicone mat that he wrote on there, and it really did look like wood. I was kind of it's impressive to look at. Nicole's up next. No, Mackenzie's up next. Bruh. This is where I would showstop Nick Jim.
Bruh. I said, how the fuck? Hers and Roy Yoon's. Like, how the fuck did you do that?
Yeah. She's making a cookie tower. It's a gingerbread tower. She's going to fill it with hibiscus shortbread. She talks about how she came up with hibiscus around her house and so forth. So she loves that particular flavor. And I'm like, all right, I feel you. Nicole's going for a gingerbread bee box, which I thought was nifty. A gingerbread box filled with bee-shaped macarons that themselves are filled with a honey and lemon buttercream.
Because her mama is a beekeeper.
Which I think is so cool. Mm-hmm. Like that's really just nifty to me. I like the idea of
earlier she said she forges, and then she said this, and I was like, of course. Like, yes. Yes.
She's so I'm not gonna say she crunchy, but she kind of crunchy, right? She kind of gives that off.
She's outsidey. Right? She's outsidey.
We outside. You got anything on the general setups here, Nick?
No, I only have judging notes.
It's all good.
That are different, or not different, extensive.
Okay.
Well, let's get judgy. Roy Yoon is up top. Why did I write that? Likes popping.
Popping? I did have a note. They have 4 hours. Okay. Yeah. Box could be any shape, but has to contain sides, bottom, and a lid. Jen ran out of time and only completed what she was able to complete because Nicole helped her. Big time helped her.
Yeah. The flavors popping in Roy Young's. They love the orange flavor of the box. They love the way it looks. They like the piping is what I.
It was well piped. It was well piped.
Hey, it really did look like a wicker basket jar. It was very well done. It was
adorable.
The macarons looked lovely. They simply just the apple wasn't hidden, but the cinnamon was popping, and so Dame Prue was like, "Them bitches is delicious either way. I don't taste the apple, but the cinnamon is cinnamon in it." And so she was quite happy with that. RJ's up next. Very odd. Prue likes the pattern, but said it looked better from a distance.
Shade.
Yes, because RJ did not finish the decoration as we were shown earlier in the situation, and needed a longer bake. And like I said again, I told you earlier, as I said earlier, everybody seems to was pulling stuff a little too early this go around. As for the cookies, Prue says heaven and does a little dance when she eat this man's cookie. Them shits must have been hitting.
Bust.
Paul comes and he's like, I love the flavor. That's all Paul.
They looked incredible. Like it was a perfectly boneless chocolate chip cookie. Gimme.
Hey, boom. Nicole, what's up next? Looks great. Got a good snap on the box itself. Nice flavor, nice buttercream, lovely.
Would you say that it was a good snap on the box?
I guess snap.
Indeed, got a good snap on the box. Nicole was just baking this week, y'all, and at no point was in danger of anything. Just was baking. Just did the thing. Gotta respect it.
Strong contender.
Amazing. Really looks like wood. Clever. Beautifully done. And then we say very dry, like chalk. The cookies taste good, but the texture is all wrong because they just spread out way too far and just everything got away from that man this week.
Chris put fake butterflies inside of his cookie box.
Sweet.
Yeah. And when he popped the lid, Paul said, "You gonna give Prue a coronary?" No, bruh, you was the one about to shit on yourself.
Prue done lived through the war. Y'all ain't gotta worry about her. She lived
Don't worry about Prue.
Mackenzie's up next. Absolutely love it.
Oh my God.
Y'all, imagine a Rapunzel style tower made of gingerbread.
Cookies.
and beautifully decorated with vines going up inside. I told y'all, don't be decorating on the side of shit and while it's standing up. You do it when it's like laying down, so then you can just set it up nice. And you know what I'm saying? She hooked it, and it was so pretty. The colors are nice. The spice works well, and it's a strong bake. The cookies could have been baked a little longer, but their flavor is on point. So that's the only complaint they can muster from McKinsey in this go around. And I'm telling you right now, it's probably what separates the winner from the not winner this go around. Brad, the design is fantastic. This box looked so pretty.
So pretty.
It was so well done. The beautifully flavored macarons, but the box is flimsy and needed longer to bake. And Paul was like, I think I would have left that bitch in there for like 15 more minutes. I'm like, but I think, again, this is where I think this is an American situation. Also, again, probably a little gun shy because in technical, they said overbake. He probably pulled that early. But also, I like a soft gingerbread.
Mm-hmm.
It's very tasty. And if you have not had a nice soft gingerbread, get you some good whipped cream on top of that. Not Cool Whip, people. Don't do that. Just go buy a can of Ready Whip. Damn, at least it's real. Come on.
I just grew up in a house where we would let shit, get soft that wasn't supposed to be soft. So I'm stale. I like a stale cookie.
Yeah, you can appreciate it. I just dig that texture.
And his macarons were roses.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous
with this marbling effect that he managed to make. Brad is a hell of a baker.
He's robbed.
And I realize I'm speaking from a position of that's the homie.
Right.
Now, but I want you to understand it's a hell of a baker. And anyway, let's talk about Jen right now, in fact. Jen, Prue likes the shape. But she clearly ran out of time as the painting is clumsy. This is my own personal note. That is 2 weeks straight where I question what the good doctor is doing with her time. Mm-hmm. The macarons look informal, but the creme au beurre.
Informal.
Every time I go blam. I lick a boom boom down.
Yeah, don't ever call my shit informal, Paul Hollywood. We would be tussling.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, this I don't understand. Actually, in fact, I would not call this her saving grace because Brad also had dope ass macarons. So look, she made good macarons, but informal macarons. Brad makes these gorgeous macarons that taste
box was good.
And the box looked gorgeous, just soft on or whatever. The box was good. And but I get it. They're well done. The box's spice levels are perfect, but the lack of care, attention, and fit and finish. And that's where I could easily argue Jen should have went home over Brad.
And I think this was one of those times because he came in last in the technical. He went home. When the technical counted. Of all the other times when goddamn technical don't count, for the winner, you could lose the technical and win the show. But if you lose the technical, you have to go home. I don't understand. Somebody explain to me like I'm 5. I don't understand.
Thanks. Your star baker this week. Let's put some respect on her name. Is where she earned it.
Ate that.
Hollywood hug and a Hollywood handshake. That's what's up.
They solved racism.
Finally.
It was a real fun episode, y'all. I actually, I very much appreciate, like I said, I realize some people are like, I don't fuck with American Baking Show, but I like what they're doing with this. Just cause, man, it's just, except people I think they're used to the old American Baking Show, and they don't understand that, no, the new one is pretty much Bake Off, just with a few less bakers and different accents. You should probably be getting down with it. And if you're not, let's say you listen to us because you get down, you bang with us. And I'm grateful for that. I truly am. But you're like, I'm not going to watch it. You should be watching this.
Watch the show.
It's free on the Roku channel. You don't even need a Roku device unless you have one. I'm saying if you have one, hey, even better. But if you don't, you can just watch on your computer or on your phone. The RokuChannel.com. It's free. It's gravy. I'm telling you right now, you watch it on a computer with an ad blocker, you don't even get commercials. Because when I watch it on the TV, I get commercials, but over here I don't.
Yeah,
and it makes my note taking so much easier because I don't have to. And in fact, it has dots on the timeline, so I can just jump around as necessary. It's so much easier to edit on as the person who writes notes for this shit, like on the computer and sitting here typing in Word.
I was fighting for my life. I was just pausing, like, wait.
Well, yeah, I do. I trust me, I do pause, and there's a lot of pause and back. And these notes got wrote today after I got off of work. So trust me when I tell you, this was it gets easier as the weeks go on because once I have a
Less
template,
people too.
then
Yeah.
I delete information out and I just drag and drop names all over the place. It becomes so much easier after the first episode.
Yeah, I definitely should have done it on a computer because I was on my phone fighting for my life.
Going to town, thumbs hurting, sweating.
That's why after the signature challenge, I was like, I don't host this show.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Oh my gosh!
I was
Let
ready.
me jump over. I didn't see email earlier, but I did see somebody. We got what they call interaction on the show page. Let me jump over to Spotify for podcasters right quick. And I think we probably just got a comment. Yeah, got a comment. Let me crack that open. And Daydane is who this person's name is. I don't know who Daydane is. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
The question, of course, was what was your favorite cookout barbecue dessert situation? And this Daydane says chocolate brownies, topped with pecans, or walnuts.
Mm-hmm.
Agree. There's something about
classic.
brownies in a picnic setting. You know, they'll like you can buy them from the grocery store sometimes, but some people make them. You know what I'm saying? That you're like, yeah, that works. Brownies, fried chicken, and shit. All that, it's like I don't know why, but it all got it's a very good groove to it. Like maybe you grab you some chicken. You know, you make a plate so you get a little bit of everything. You got a little, and if desserts is out already, because you know some black occasions the dessert don't be out until they let the dessert come out. But if it's out already. Get your
Anything
little
to change your napkin color is a good food.
Get a little shine on it.
Yeah. I can see through this napkin. There's some good food.
Lady and gentleman, what would be our question of the week this week?
Cookies.
Oh. Favorite non-chocolate chip cookie?
No such thing.
Ah, you just said you like boneless.
I know, but that's still a chocolate chip cookie. You just don't have no chocolate chips in it.
Okay.
All right. And you've had to poll the people. What would you ask?
When's the last time you've been piping?
Yeah, we should just throw those in.
No.
Piping. Sturdy box. No. A poll. We should ask the people if they were show stopped.
Fair.
We show stopped. Because it was just Mackenzie, Royun, and Brad's for me.
Yeah.
Nicole's was fine, but I think that I don't understand what a B box looks like.
It looked like that.
Okay.
Here, I will find you an image of a B box right now. I don't want to buy one, you fuckers. I want to just show my friend what they look like. You know what? I guess hers didn't. I got the vibe. You'll get the gist here. Let me give you.
I see, but yeah, I didn't see that particular theme. Because I think that I was thinking of the thing where they pull out the
because
I was expecting something else.
Yeah, that I think that one would be what I would think of as a B box. It kind of looks like a file cabinet.
Yeah,
because you can pull it out from different layers and different.
But hers kind of looked like that. The one with the hole in it in the top center image. That's what hers looked like.
Well, her mama is
right.
She's a beekeeper, so she would know.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's kind of here's a situation.
Yeah.
So those are inside of what we thought they would look like.
Yeah. That's the part I was confused about.
Yeah, so her beekeeping experience here was just
I was looking for the file cabinet situation.
Just a little stronger than what we know as a B box. So and like I said, for her this week, I'm not even she didn't have a bad week at all.
A contender. Quite the contender.
Yeah, easy. So and I was not I will save that for later. Anyway. Y'all know what it is. Give us a follow. Follow is unnecessary. Why did I even say that? I mean, I guess if you're so inclined, you could follow Stage Crunchy and Milk's YouTube channel. These episodes do post up over there. They just go automatically now. I had to because Google Podcast is shutting down around the world here this month, I believe. Google was like, "Hey man, put this shit on YouTube Music. That way it's there and already waiting for you." And doing that just means it's already on YouTube. And so this show uploads over there. So if you're so inclined and want to be bothered, you can follow our YouTube channel. All the podcasts are there. You can listen to them over there. And of course, if you are on the Android side of the business, you'll need a new podcast listening app, which is probably going to be YouTube Music anyway. So go for it.
I love it so far.
I'm glad you didn't get down with it. That's Nick Jew. She hosts What's the Tea. They just put up a new wig cap. If you're on their Patreon, get down over that. Also, a new episode of the regular show is up this week as well.
It's Tuesday, isn't it?
Isn't it? I've already listened to it and heard Nick try to contain herself about WNBA bullshit. If you know, you know. Also, I happen to notice we read just a little bit closer. We had no sound issues that showed up, at least in the that I heard about.
The interesting thing is he was at his apartment last week, but this week he was in his office. So now I'm gonna have to just require him to be.
I need you to be on the Grizzly. Keep my sound tight. It's all good. Okay. That's Nick. Okay, that's Ant. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He's
I am on Stage Crunchy and Milk.
Yeah, glorious. It's my homeboy. It's his birthday next week.
It is.
When you hear this, let me take a peek. Is this before or after your birthday? This come out 2 days before your birthday, which also means we probably ain't recording Skim next week because his birthday is a recording
Thursday.
day. So,
I don't even know if I'm doing anything. So
I hope you do something.
Oh,
but it's all to the good if you are so inclined as to not. So I am the internet's Tayrell 713. Nick called me 719 on her show today, and I was highly offended.
Sure did.
Highly offended, y'all.
Did. I've listened to it twice since too, and both times I was like, damn.
Yeah, but it's kind of like you can't use 713 again. Somebody already got that name on this one.
No, I woke up from like an hour-long nap 5 minutes before we started recording. I confused BB Newworth and Fran Drescher, so it wasn't just you who got it.
Oh, I was wondering. I was like, "Do you know something about BB Newworth that I don't?" Maybe this. I was like, maybe she doing some shit.
I know I was asleep. I know that.
BB Newworth, who you might know as Lilith from Cheers, played Dr. Fraser Crane's ex-wife.
I mean, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for pulling that name out of there.
Or if you're a Broadway person, that's where you know her from the theater.
Well, look, Cheers been off for a good 30 ass years.
Yeah,
but BB Newworth still working. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying. You know, and if you know, you know. So that's just all I'm saying. Anyway, bake with us again, baby. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Goodbye.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.